Hello, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful day. I had to do some stuff today, some preparation for tournaments that I have tomorrow. And tomorrow I don't know if I will be able to stream, maybe in the evening too, but I will be on a long tournament and I don't know if I can make it back in time. So in compensation, on Sunday I will stream for a long time, so going to look forward to that. We're going to do the things that we have left over from last time. And the first thing that we want to do now is to make an explosive sound. So last time we tried to make an explosive sound, but I said that I'm not satisfied with our product and that the sound is very important to me, that I think the player is going to hear the sound over and over again because it's one of his main casts that he can do. So this cannot be a product that is not sounding like super good quality. If the sound quality is not good on something that the player will use regularly and hear all the time, then you're going to annoy the player with that sound, and he's going to have something very negative associated to that, and that goes over to the game, and you just have a negative review. So let's keep working on the sound. I have watched some tutorials. I have also worked on the game offline a little bit, just some background animations, not bigger stuff, but it's some smaller things that are not really noteworthy. Mostly animations, animation improvements, smaller ones that you won't notice now. So let's start with looking what we had yesterday. Oh, it did work on this explosion. And I said, it's fine, it doesn't sound like bombastic. This is not really a good sound, I think. Like, this could be a good background for a real explosion, but this is in itself not a good sound. And then I did look up what we did wrong. So actually we did a lot of things right. I saw some tutorials. They use drums for the explosion sounds and then filter out the high pitch. So nearly the exact thing that we did. And they also use white noise, exactly the thing that we tried out. And but they faded them in and out a little bit different. So what we did was we faded them out like a curve that is symmetrical, but an actual explosion goes up very fast and then it will slowly go down. So the camera goes up with a big bang and it comes immediately, like bang, goes up. You have a very loud sound and then it will fade out, but And the problem that the first problem that what I did wrong is I would not go up immediately. I would go up slowly. So the sound would build up. That does not make a good explosion sound. Ooh. I was a little bit surprised there. A soundtrack by Twitch just started playing. Okay, so we have to get going. I will also not stream too long today. I guess only 1.5 hours. Because I have to get to bed early. I have to get my sleep. I have to look first where the music is coming from. I have to mute that. See that if I can't find where the music is coming from. Ah, I see. The stream yesterday. Downloaded that one. Oh. Okay, now that's a soundtrack by Twitch at my what? I was downloading my own what of Twitch, and now the sound was just playing randomly in the background, and I was really scared where the sound is coming from. Like the really scary hacker ghost situation where you sometimes have something popping up, you hear a sound, and you don't know where it's coming from, and I'm always getting scared, like oh, damn, where's this sound coming from? Is somebody hacking me? Stop it! Stop it! Okay, but enough of my scares. Let's start recording. Okay. First off, I have some good samples that I also want to try to use as an example, as a template for our explosion sound. Now I need to find them under our sounds. So this is I'm opening right now a template of blood magic samples. And what these samples do, disable the music. What these samples do, they're basically drop stones. I dropped stones on the ground. I did this also one time on stream. But I dropped some stones, and this is what you get as a recording. Let's start with the top. Mute them all and start with the top one. You see, this one seems to be a little bit loud. I have to turn down the volume a little bit because this really did hurt my ears. And this is actually a lot of stones that I dropped on the floor. Don't know what I was dropping them on. Maybe a pillow. Might have been a pillow. And I think these will be good starting points for the next attempt for an explosion. Yeah? You still have to do a lot of work here. And won't work. Might be good. Like that one. So you see there's a lot of good storm drops there. And this is why I kept the sounds, because I really think they are good ones. I think the rest of the sounds are just some background noise for a magic attack. Yep. These ones not going to be in the explosion. Okay, let's copy a track and see if we can get the track into our other template. Get them? Yeah. Hmm. And you immediately see this sound now has way more punch. Way better. Now what we have to change is we have to make this sound a little bit longer with some echo, reverb, to be exact. And I also want to limit the maximum time this displays. Don't think we need more than 3 seconds. Let's generate some silence and just every track and delete the time over 3 seconds because we don't need that much time. And then we start experimenting with this explosion sound here. First, let's do the obvious and just use a filter curve. We want to see what happens if we if we slap in more bass and filter out all the high pitch noise, the high frequency noise. Sorry, this is high frequency in hertz, and this means if I would speak high, that's high frequency, low is low frequency. Like, this is bass. This is the opposite of bass. Let's preview. And I made a mistake. I only want to use this line here at the bottom. Apply the effect. Now it did not save my changes. Okay. I think when I was playing them all together, it sounded really good. The sound alone seems to not be sufficient enough. Just do this and play them all together. Okay. This needs more bass. Let's reverse this. A bit more bass. We use a lot of bass already and subtract a little bit of high pitch. Okay. Also doesn't work. We'll try to do this again for the whole track. That's pretty convincing, I have to say. Now you see that the sound goes all over the place. Like something is you normally say this sounds like your speakers are exploding, and you normally never want to see something like this in your sound file, except if you're doing an explosion. Then you can go a little bit overboard, but don't do too much. If you do too much, it will hurt in your ears. Okay. I think everything is good for this. I think what this adds is just to have a little bit of high pitch, like small debris that are flying around, and it just adds up very well with the other sounds. We have to be careful though, when we export this file, it can still be that the file will not work as we intended to, because when compromising into MP3, for example, the compressor will actually sometimes destroy your sound if it goes too much overboard like this. So you have to be careful here. Let's just export this and see how the MP3 would sound. And this is going to be in the player. Magic. That magic explosion. We have to find the file. In the file explorer. See, it sounds completely different. That's why I say you have to be careful. What we hear here, what we hear here, is very different from what we export. Let's try to export this as a wave. Maybe use a little, just try to have a high bit wave. Want to have as much information as possible and see how this sounds. Way different again. Okay, so both sounds are not sounding like they're convincing explosions. Let's give it another try in Unity and see how Unity will handle these sounds. So, Blood Magic. You see there's already a lot of sounds here. Let's import these two sounds. They are. Let's look how they sound. Okay, in Unity they actually sound convincing. It's a relief. Oh, that's not the sound I'm looking for. So the wave sound is bugged. Is compromised in the way that doesn't work anymore. Delete those two. We can still work on them. So in Unity we can hear these sounds very well, just like we should, in a way that we should, if we import them as MP3. Let's keep that in mind. And let's also try to make the sound a little bit better. So for that, let's look into the animation that we actually are trying to match. So there's an animation we want to match with our sound. Let's find that. Yeah. So let's see how long this animation plays. So after 0.55 seconds, we are already finished with the most important part. We have to match this with our sound. Our sound right here, you can see that it goes until the main explosion goes until 1 second. That cannot go. That needs to be edited. So we need to get under 500 milliseconds. Let's try again to find the point, the exact point where the explosion stops. I would say half a second, roughly. Half a second is enough precision. Oh, let's edit our explosion sound. This one is too long. Let's listen to the first track here. Okay. And let's try to just make this a little bit more silent, that we don't hear that. And it's a little bit over the top, nonetheless. Okay, there's one sound that sounds a little bit weird. Find out which one. I think it's this one. So let's also amplify this. We should also fade this out now. We have a nice start and ending this sound. You don't fade sounds in and out. They will just drop in immediately and sound weird in your speaker. If you ever hear a clicking noise in your speakers, that's because you haven't faded them out correctly. Oh, let's choose -10. Okay, so this will play with the main explosion. And it doesn't fit it. Sounds like it has some kind of noise inside of the sound. I'm trying to get rid of that. Now this sounds a little bit more natural. I don't think it will work, but nonetheless I want to try. I think I like it. Because this reminds me a little bit of debris flying around. Now all the sounds are waiting a little bit here. like nearly 100 milliseconds until they really play. Need to change that. So let's remove the first 100 milliseconds so that they immediately start playing. Increase this sound again a little bit. And this one is actually a little bit too much. Let's have the loudness. Okay. Want it to sound a little bit more aggressive. This doesn't sound too good. Nope. Why? Oh, I think the sound is in a very natural sounding condition right now. So let's not overdo it with this sound. The only thing that we miss with this sound here, with this track, is reverb. So reverb is basically some advanced kind of echo. Okay, let's just try to export this and see how it plays in Unity. It seems to me like the sounds were a little bit better in Unity, but it could also be my imagination. Well, let's try out again. No, doesn't. That doesn't sound like a good convincing sound. But we're close. We're close. I think we can do it. We just have to keep going. Keep going until we have a good sound. Don't give up. It might take some time, but good explosion sounds are just so much worth it. The sound goes a little bit too much overboard. And I hear too many necking noises. The other side, I really like the sound overall. I might try to amplify it with the filter curve. Actually, I think this sound overall sounds a little bit over-engineered. Trying to work a little bit with the pitch. This would work. That would be really nice. Let's try it again. I think it's still a little bit too much over the top, but we can hope. I mean, dreams never die. Will people do in their dreams? But let's not think about that. Okay, let's apply this to the sound to this explosion. I don't think we are there yet. I want to try it out in game. So let's see how this sounds in game. Because it's also something that we have to consider in game. Sounds are way different because they are handled by a 3D component. So let's try it out. think it sounds like a little bit too silent. It could be louder. Let's look into the component. And see if we messed up with the sound settings. No, we didn't. Nonetheless, we were going to put the minimum distance, which is the distance where we still hear the full volume, up a little bit to 5. So that if we charge the attack, we'll always hear the attack with its whole volume.
Lane! Lane! Hey!
I think this is a very good point. What could we still improve? I think the high-pitched sounds, the stone sounds are not noticeable enough. I would amplify them by +5. No. Reverb them first. Because if you reverb them, they're automatically, because of their echo, that is going to add up the original sound, they're going to sound much, much louder. Okay. Now that sounded a little bit like they would be in some kind of metal drum by other settings. Yeah. The wet gain. Oh, that sounded interesting. Okay, let's apply this and try it out. And to be a little bit faster, we are just going to overwrite the file. Mostly just a little bit faster than deleting it every time, then drag it in. And let's try it in the game. Okay, I'm going to switch my speakers now because I noticed something weird. When I'm casting to the left, I hear more bass than if I'm casting to the right. It's not correct. Also, only on my left ear. So I'm going to switch my speakers. Okay. I think I'm very happy with the sound now. Could we improve something? Maybe add some more echo. Yay. We also have a flying ability.
Hey! Lane!
Now I want to save the project. I'm convinced that this is a good file and this is a very good outcome, but I still want to save the project. Close Audacity. And now what I'm going to do is I'm only taking the finished product file and trying to import it into Audacity. But it could be that Audacity fucks this up. Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't do that. Let's try this another way. And we can add all the tracks together. So let's mix them. To find the right tool for that. Okay, this one. And now we can add some echo. don't like the echo effect. So let's not try that again. Pole stretch is always a weird option. It stretched it over the start of the clip, so I have to some silence at the start. Let's try that again. Ooh, it had a nice feel to it. Okay, let's apply some reverb and then export this. Because I think this sounds really interesting. Let's make a save point maybe. Export this as Blood Magic 2 Explosion 2. Want to try that later in Unity. And now let's apply some reverb. And this will be our third attempt. Okay, we now are going to import our new files into Unity. And listen in Unity. Our original sound. The new version. Ooh. That's not the sound that I wanted. This is the one that I wanted. And now number 3. Okay, let's try them out. Put them into the prefab. Here. And let's try the second sound. Okay. Now let's try number 3. I think this is the one. Yeah, I think this just matches the visuals. Good. I think we have done it. We have actually mixed our new explosion sound. Now we only have to trim the sound, and then we are going for variations. So what kind of variations do we have to do? This explosion can be empowered, and the empowered sound version of this explosion has different sound effect, which just should be sound like even stronger. So how we are going to do that? We take our out sound and just add more reverb. This is a usual way I do it, and then they usually fit in. And if that doesn't work, we will still have to add more layers. But let's just first cut the sound, because it's too long in the current version. There was a lot of silence in the end. First, let's really see if they don't cut anything that is important. Yeah, okay, we can cut this. Export it as .magic 3. Now we are going to add silence again and reverb this. Yeah, and I think that's it. I actually think we're done. And you can empower this skill by using some special ability. I think it will add 35% more damage. So empowered. We need to have another version for that. So now that we have another version for the empowered skill, let's also add a particle system for the empowered skill. And the particle system for the empowered skill is going to be the same as the normal one, just a little bit over the top. So let's see how we can do this. So what will happen if this is empowered? I think this is a skill level 11 empowerment that will play a new sound. We will have to look into the script to see how it really works out. The script, it looks like it's skill 6, but I'm not sure. Oh, there's different empowerments. Yeah, it's skill 6. So in the normal script, we will do the following. We will not play this on the wake. We will play this with control of our script. And here is our beautiful short script of our explosion. And all this does is it scans for enemies, other enemies. Okay, do damage. This is all what this script does. So it's pretty straightforward, very easy to write and control. And what we want to do here is we want to give this 2 new public variables. And these are going to have the information for our audio clips. So we want our normal explosion sound and the empowered one. And the first second the script starts, we want to get we want to choose one of the audio clips according to which empowerment we have. Then apply the recording sound to our audio source. We change the clip to whatever we need. Then we play the sound. Let's also introduce a variable for our audio source here, because we are using this twice. And then we play our clip. Good. Now we have to do the same thing with the particle system. And then we're done. So first we need to think about what we want to do with our particle system, and then how are we going to apply this. For this we have to open the prefab. I don't know it myself right now out of my head. We have to look into the structure of this game object. So we have all the particle systems in one big system. That's bad for us, for what we want to do. Because if we want to apply a new particle system, we want to maybe change a whole lot of variables in this whole system. So I will take a short break, 5 minutes, and think about how we are going to do this. Okay, I'm back. So, my two ideas would be, we either would put this game object into two variants, and then we would tell the main character script which variant he's going to instantiate. The other idea would be, inside of this game object, we have two particle systems, one for the empowered effect and one for the normal effect. And then the script chooses which one is going to be enabled and which one not. I think this second option is way easier to implement and way better from its structure, because you still have one explosion and you just spawn the explosion and it will do everything by itself. So it's not that hard to fuck it up. And so first let's set up the explosion we have made for this system. We haven't imported the empowered version yet. Let's do that. What's your name? I need your name. Now we are going to make two game objects, one for the normal effect, normal, explosion effect, and one for the empowered version. Let's start with the normal explosion effect, which is going to have all these childs. Basically, which are basically just the sparks and everything that we want to spawn. And then the main particle system here with the explosion sprite sheet is going into this game object. We're going to remove it from the main game object. Okay, let's play this. Still looks not different at all. So we are going to copy this, the same effect, and call it empowered version. And because it always looks a little bit different inside of the prefab menu, I'm going to drag this into the game and look how it looks there. Because with the background, it normally looks way different. Okay, now we are going, this is the empowered version, which just deals more damage. But we will try to crank it up a little bit. So what can we do? What can we do? I think the main explosion effect. Ooh, that's really hard to improve on that one. Cannot make it bigger because the player would maybe then assume that the explosion affects more enemies, and it doesn't. What we can do is, I have an idea. We can copy this, get rid of all the children of the copy. Only want this. Now you see that this is just brighter, and this explosion should be on top of the other explosion. So let's put it above it, and if we make it smaller, we have two explosions. The size is controlled with this graph here, though. Or is it? Oh, it isn't. Not completely. And we added 1 second delay to this. Oh no, that would be not a good idea. 0.2 second delay over this. Now we have this small after effect. Let's make the second explosion a little bit shorter. And now we see the explosion is actually a little bit stronger than this explosion. And the light is also going to be way stronger. We're going to emit more sparks. We do something with a shockwave. Yeah, we can even make the shockwave stronger. Okay, now let's look at the enhanced version. Yeah. Actually, I think to have more sparks looks so good. We should think about adding this to the main particle system. Because this is just so beautiful. It's just quality, I think. Have this. And so let's apply all the overrides to the prefab. Delete this. Now all the changes that we did have been applied to the prefab that we spawn every time we do this attack. The only thing that is left is we have to make the script in this on the explosion effect now spawn the correct particle effect, which is easy. And we are going to destroy everything manually now. So what we're going to do is, it's empowered, we're going to enable the empowered transform. Normal. What did we name this? Let's look for the name. Normal explosion effect. So this makes that if we are empowered or not, we are going to enable the correct game object with the particle system on it. And now we have to destroy ourselves. So let's add a function for the steal damage and destroy. Okay. And we want to wait for a specific amount of time. The death time, which we will define later. And then we are going to destroy the whole game object with everything on it. The dev time will be a public float that we can adjust in the inspector anytime. Let's put this to let's look into the clips. How long are they? 6 seconds. Let's put the dev time to 2 seconds to make sure that everything has played out. So, try this out. So nothing should change if we normally cast now. Okay, now we are going to empower ourselves. There's a certain script which is skill 6.1, which is going to empower us. Okay, we see something's not right here. Console wide anything? No. So there doesn't seem to be a script error. We did hear the empowered sound, which was very good. Let's see if this is set to play on awake. Yeah, it is. Hmm. Okay, let's make another test and look into the spawned explosion effect. Maybe we did overlook something. Actually. Everything seems to be alright now. Now let's empower ourselves. And see, there's this explosion effect right here. This one. Let's see what happened. So it did not enable this effect here. Yeah. So it did not do this. Look into it further. Yep, I see the problem. I have forgotten to uncheck this boolean. There was quotation mark in front of it, which says if this is false, we need to change that. Now it asks if it's true, then please do the empowered effect. So let's try that again. Going to empower ourselves. Yeah, I think this is all right.
Hey!
Okay, good. Now we can stop working on this explosion effect overall because we're finished. Let's look at our to-do list. I have a to-do list, and to take a look at that. And I think there's nothing else about this explosion effect on the to-do list. Now I got this in Excel. There we have our little nice to-do list, which tells us what we have to do. Because we can't spend time thinking too much about what we have to do next, and simply write that down. So with the explosion effect, the empowered sound, and we can still work on the charging sound. This is a good idea. Okay. So when the character uses his hands to cast the explosion, what kind of sound could this make? Actually, not a lot of sound. My idea is it would it would sound like some kind of wind up, like Okay. Let's look into the current charging sound. Oh, I think it's on this character. This is this one. Okay, let's open the character script and find the sound. And it says here that there's an explosion sound in the character script, but it should only have an explosion charge sound. So the name is a little bit misleading. Let's see where this sound is initialized. Sounds free. So the fourth sound here. One, two, three, four. So this is a current charging sound. Let's find that. Okay. And let's try to edit it. So what I want to do is to have this kind of reverse and have it to be silent shortly before the sound, the explosion. Because you would have don't have a wind up, you have a wind down, and then a big explosion, like yeah, to build up some inner tension. Okay, I don't like this part of the sound. And I think I have done this with the template for blood magic. Pretty sure it's one of these here I did use. Let's see. Maybe I did use the old charging sound. Let's get rid of that. Okay, that's not enough to work with. I just wanted to have some electricity sounds. I think we have to reuse this one here. Maybe reverse this. Yeah, I think this would be a good idea. Have this play out and then the explosion. But we don't have time for this build up. I think the casting time is only 0.5 seconds. So we don't have much time to play. We can't build it up like this. Let's reverse it again. Maybe make this sound just play faster. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean that. Okay. Okay. Let's try this kind of sound. I think it's a little bit too loud now, but we can actually change the volume in Unity. So let's export the sound to Unity and look how it sounds. think it's too loud. So let's put the volume down from the start. I don't think we even need to test this. With full volume, it doesn't make any sense because I just feel it. I think this is great. Like this is a small silence before the cast. Makes the sound actually better. Now, do think we should change something. Let's get the charge sound. That is, we could maybe add more treble. Make it a little bit slower. Not this part, we don't need this. Let's try again. Let's apply the new sound and try it out. Okay, this one we can make a little bit louder. Give it more volume. Okay, let's compare to the other sound effect, charge effect. Okay, I like the first one. Actually, I like the first one more. That's something I don't say a lot of times, but yeah, I think we messed up with doing more of a pretty good effect. Let's put back then in the first cast. Change the name. There's actually a T after explosion that does not belong there. Oh. And we're done. So another thing that we can put from our to-do list. Yay! So we have 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. in Germany right now, and tomorrow I have to get up early. So I will end the stream right now and have to hurry up to get to bed, because tomorrow I will have a very important tournament and I have to be as fit as I can be. So I need to get some sleep. See you around then. So thank you for joining the stream, and I will stream tomorrow evening if I can, and if not, Sunday, the whole day will be streaming time. Thank you.